Lion.
In the scriptures, 3 times in the year, you are supposed to be able to go on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem to pay your respects to God. Why do they not want us to go to Jerusalem to take our Our fathers in former times went in multitudes unto Jerusalem. Who is it that desires that we not go to Jerusalem to pay our respects unto the omnipotent God?
Spiritually oppressing all my people like Malachi 3:8, pass the plate, let's teach. Read the whole chapter, you pastors is like Hosea 4:6, don't forget not teach. Ezekiel 8:14, they weep for who? Who's that? The cross is a lower T for that deity. Do your research. Jeremiah 23:27. Forgot his name for Lord, sharpen my sword for the kneel to the floor, say no more repent. Y'all gotta repent. Luke 1:5, the course was Abijah. 1 Chron 24 verse 10. Ha! Now I know the birth of the Messiah. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 1 though. Mentally enslaving all my people like fair. Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people fair. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like fair. Let him go. Mentally enslaving all my people like fair. Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people fair. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh. Let's go. Leviticus 11, still people eating swine. Isaiah 65 verse 4, no swine. Isaiah 66 verse 3, no swine.
Okay. Oh, you gonna need the New Testament, right?
Matthew 5:17 through 19, listen. 2 John verse 6, this love I listen. Romans 2:13, now what? Who said?
I said that.
Read Exodus so we can exit this. Sage your boys here, chillin', drippin' spiritual. Oppressing my people, wondering 40 years. Yahuwah is my savior and king, now listen. Yahusha means the Father is salvation. John 3:18, you see why believe. Mentally enslaving all my people like fair.
Say what?
Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people fair. Can't walk up in the church, tell the pastor like fair.
Straight up.
Mentally enslaving all my people like fair. What? Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people fair. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like fair.
We desire to go to Jerusalem because
Lion.
in the scriptures, 3 times in the year, you are supposed to be able to go on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem to pay your respects to God. Why do they not want us to go to Jerusalem to take our fathers in former times went in multitudes unto Jerusalem? Who is it that desires that we not go to Jerusalem to pay our respects unto the omnipotent God?
Spiritually oppressing all my people like Malachi 3:8, pass the plate, let's teach. Read the whole chapter, you pastors is like Hosea 4:6, don't forget not teach. Ezekiel 8:14, they weep for who? Who's that? The cross is a lower T for that deity. Do your research. Jeremiah 23:27. Forgot his name for Lord, sharpen my sword for the kneel to the floor, say no more repent.
Y'all gotta repent.
Luke 1:5, the course was Abijah. 1 Chron 24 verse 10. Ha! Now I know the birth of the Messiah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 1 though.
Mentally enslaving all my people like Pharaoh. Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people Pharaoh. Rob him. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh. Let him go. Mentally enslaving all my people like Pharaoh. Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people Pharaoh. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh. Let's go. Leviticus 11, still people eating swine. Isaiah 65, verse 4, no swine. Isaiah 66, verse 3, no swine.
Okay. Oh, you gonna need the New Testament, right?
Matthew 5, 17 through 19, listen. 2 John verse 6 is love, I listen. Romans 2:13, now what? Who said?
Yeah, I said that.
Read Exodus so we can exit this. Say John Bourgier, chillin', drippin', spiritual. Oppressing my people, wondering 40 years. Yahuwah is my savior and king, now listen. Yahusha means the Father is salvation. John 3:18, you see why believe. Mentally enslaving all my people like Pharaoh. Say what? Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people Pharaoh. Can't walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh.
Straight up.
Mentally enslaving all my people like Pharaoh. What? Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people Pharaoh. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh.
Let's go.
You gotta have faith, but according to the Romans 9, 1 through 5, why you lie? My flesh is of Yasharel, you better tell.
ASAP, man.
Psalms 83, crafty counsel I see. Got us working on Shabbat, on Sunday preaching. Psalms 91, in him I trust Yahuwah. Yeah. Okay. Deuteronomy 28, it all relates. Atlantic slave trade back in Egypt now. 2 Kings 17, 5 through 19.
Continue to read, though.
Romans 11, don't boast up, listen. As we return, this fire burns in me. Yeah, Baruch atah Yahuwah Avinu, translate that.
Hebrew.
I mean, mentally enslaving.
But if the trumpet does blow,
Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people.
we are concerned
The church tell the
and we are troubled. But let all the inhabitants of the world know we're not afraid. Stay in your places. Do not leave the village of peace.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, Zion.
I want to say happy Passover. We're going into unleavened bread now. So we got to do the 7 days unleavened bread. I hope y'all had a good weekend. Well, good Shabbat. That goddamn rooster. He had it tonight. But another day in Babylon, or looking at Babylon. It's a lot been going on.
Another week.
Another week, yeah. I don't know if y'all heard about a lot of people been losing their 401ks.
Oh, I wish you would have said it the other way.
Hey, y'all, I chop it up. I can chop some words up. But a lot of people been losing their 401ks and what else?
Stocks.
The stocks, yeah. They
The investments.
Right, the
After,
investments.
Since Trump been playing with the tariffs and playing with the stock market.
Right. Shalom,
Insider
brother
trading.
Denzel. Shalom, brother.
Shalom, brother Manziel. But yeah, so some people we went to high school with, people who made investments been talking about how they 401ks and things like that took a beating.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a little crazy out here. You know what I'm saying? We
People
just
are
scratching.
tense.
Yeah, we just scratching the surface. A lot of people complaining. I'm hearing. I was looking at some videos, and I don't know if it's true or not, but at Costco's, they had some meat, some ribeye steaks, probably like about 5 in a pack for $100. About $105. I don't know if that's true
That's
or not.
a lot for 5 ribeyes.
It's a lot. It's like $20 a ribeye, right?
That's too much.
That's too much.
$20 for a ribeye?
Hey,
That's too much.
I'm out the
Especially
loop.
at Costco.
Yeah, I'm out the loop, but yeah, it was.
You ain't at no fresh butcher, fresh.
Yeah.
Even if that, I wouldn't
It
pay.
was in the pack.
I would say one ribeye at the stove,
About
$12.
That's what I was gonna say. About $12.
maybe 15 if it's a big ounce. But
Yeah, but stuff going up, and then Trump, you know, he folded on him, and he ain't he took the tariffs
yeah,
for 90
a
days.
90-day pause. Except China though.
Yeah, except China now. But my thing is too though is Trump, he had beef with China, you know, because he was blaming China for the you know that you dig.
For the 19.
Right, he blamed Trump for that. So I mean he
Even though it
blamed
was some truth
China.
in what he was saying.
Well, yeah, it was, yeah, but still, America has something to do with that shit too.
Yeah, they did. I like when Trump told you to just drink some bleach. Bleach kill germs, right? Just drink some bleach, dummies. You'll get rid of the virus.
He can say some dumb shit sometimes.
He do. He the funniest president the Babylon done put up.
Yeah, Most High put the right one up in there.
Yeah, that's right. The Most High put him up. Then the stock market, so it crashed. Then what? The next day or 2 days later, it jumped up like 200%. Then it crashed.
And then it crashed again. Yeah.
Man, and I'm not laughing. I feel for our people who trust in the system, who invested their money and they taking a hit. But it is kind of funny watching it all play out.
Yeah, because we knew that this was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Giving all praise to the Most High for giving us that spirit and letting us see, you know, before everybody else. And it's still like it still seem like they not seeing it now. They still ain't seeing it.
Or not believing.
Right, exactly.
They believe more or trust in oppression in Babylon more than the word of God.
Exactly, right. But it's supposed to be something about them going to the table for the Iran deal or whatever.
But
Supposed to be
Iran
today.
ain't talking to them
But that's
directly. Anyway,
I don't know what even that means.
that means I don't have enough respect for you to speak to you directly, man to man. You're gonna have to go through a middleman. We're not about to talk to you.
Okay, so maybe that's what they talking about as far as them, you know, having some type of agreement or something. But I got a video. Y'all know I got a video. And I hope it worked. I hope it worked. Right? But this is what Netanyahu said as far as, you know, the only way the deal gonna work. This is the only way, y'all pay attention to this too now. This is the only way a deal gonna work, right? And we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about this.
So, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Tuesday that a U.S. diplomatic deal with Iran would work only if Tehran's civilian nuclear facilities are blown up under the supervision of the U.S., terms that would be a non-starter in negotiations with Tehran. So Netanyahu said in a video statement a day after meeting with President Trump, quote, "We agree that Iran will not have nuclear weapons. This can be done by agreement, but only if this agreement is Libyan style. They go in, blow up the installations, dismantle all of the equipment under American supervision, and carried out by America. This would be good," end quote. So he's mentioning Libya, and he's referring to when Muammar Gaddafi the former leader of Libya, agreed to dismantle his nuclear program back in 2003 and allowed inspectors to verify his progress. But only 8 years later, in 2011, as you all know, Gaddafi was brutally killed by U.S.-backed militants after a NATO airstrike hit his convoy amid the U.S.-NATO bombing campaign, the U.S.-NATO intervention in Libya in 2011. So President Trump has threatened to bomb Iran if a deal on its nuclear program is not reached, even though U.S. intelligence agencies have recently reaffirmed that there's no evidence Tehran is working toward a nuclear weapon. And in his video statement on Tuesday, Netanyahu brought up military action. He said that him and Trump discussed it at length. He said, quote, "The second possibility is that they drag out the talks, and then there is the military option. Everyone understands this. We spoke about this at length," end quote. So, of course, as we've been covering, the U.S. has undertaken a significant military buildup in the Middle East, which has included the deployment of B-2 bombers that could be used to strike Iran. And this buildup comes amid a heavy U.S. bombing campaign in Yemen, which the Trump administration is threatening to escalate. So amid all these tensions, the U.S. and Iran are set to hold high-level negotiations in Oman this Saturday. So I mentioned this yesterday, but Iran's foreign minister and Steve Witkoff, Trump's envoy, are going to be in Oman for these talks. Iran saying that they're going to be indirect talks, Trump saying they're going to be direct. Either way, the fact that you have Iran's foreign minister going to attend shows that they're taking this seriously.
All right, man, go that way a little bit too. It's crazy because, just like you said, in Libya, you know, how they disarmed Gaddafi, and then later on they came and, you know, took him out. And it's like, you know, man, I'm not finna, man, that's just crazy. If I'm on the street, right, give you a scenario. If I'm on the street, and somebody next door, well, my enemy got guns and stuff next door, and I got guns, and they want to come and take my gun. No, matter of fact, tear up my backyard, because that's where I keep my guns at. They want to tear that up and, you know, put it on fire and all that. Why they keep their guns? Like, man, I'm a fool if I, you know, agree to that. What type of mess is that, man? And then Iran, they know better than that. You know what I'm saying? They know what they did to Libya, what they did to the dude in Iraq. What's his name? Castro. Saddam Hussein, right. Yeah, Saddam Hussein.
Syria, too.
Right, and they did in Syria, man, all these countries, those, I think it was 7 countries or whatnot that they, you know.
We got to find that video.
Yeah, right, exactly. But my man, he was talking about the different countries or whatnot. Let me see what Brother Lindsay put up right quick. Right, these devils believe that they're the police of the world. Exactly, man. Like, who the hell is y'all, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. If I'm not mistaken, this Edomite devil said that America told them that if they don't do it, they're gonna blow them up.
Exactly right.
And then the other choice is y'all agree to us blowing up y'all stuff.
Yeah.
Either way it goes, is something getting blew up.
Yeah, and America gonna be the ones who supervise this shit. Like, man, is y'all crazy or what, man? They is crazy. Nah,
yeah.
I can't, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, man, this got to go down pretty soon, man. You know what I'm saying, man? I don't think they ever been at this heighten of, you know, even though they did take out some of their generals. That's like an act of war. But
the difference now is that the other countries are not backing down.
Right.
Nobody, even when you look at random videos, citizens, civilians are saying nobody's scared of America anymore. Her luster, her lure has wore off. Nobody's, well, let's not say nobody. Most people are not thirsting to get to America anymore. Nope. They don't care. They see what's happening. They see America's not a world power. There was a video and somebody was saying that black people rock with China and Russia, more than they do America.
Yeah, yeah.
People
They do.
aren't seeing what's happening.
And especially in Africa too. Yeah. A lot of African countries and whatnot. You know what I'm
trying
saying?
to find that video. But yeah, so when it comes to this is bullying, intimidation, manipulation, and the end result is going to be betrayal. You're going to get stabbed in the back. You know what's going to happen? This remind me of the Trail of Tears. This remind me of the broken treaties with the natives, how they got the natives to teach them how to live in the new land and, you know, basically put their guard down. Basically put their guard down to the white devils that came over here, and eventually they stabbed them in the back. And it's the same thing, because the minute, like you said in your analogy, the minute you give up your weapon, the minute you are a man who don't have the means to protect his family,
Leah, you got to go. Why are you doing
the
that?
minute you give that up, you're weak. And it's easier to take you down and take over, and that's what they're looking for. Even though the white man said that it ain't even no evidence that they have a nuclear program, but we all know they got something. They ain't no fools.
But that's just what happened in Iraq. You know what I'm saying, with Saddam Hussein.
They
They
know
did
what
him
time
the
it
same
is.
way. You know, he ain't have no weapons of mass destructions. All the big heads was like, you know, we shouldn't have went in there. We shouldn't have did it. The generals, everybody was like, they shouldn't have did it. But they did it anyway. And then too, you know, Trump, when he came in, the first time he was president, he tore up their agreement. You know, so he backed out that agreement that they had with Iran. You know, I think it was who was it? Obama who had that? Who did the agreement with Iran? With their nuclear program and whatnot? If I'm not mistaken,
I'm not sure.
it was one of
I got
the
that video too.
the Democrats that they had made a deal with Iran with their nuclear program or whatnot.
To just
Trump?
like supervise it.
I guess, yeah, I think so. Trump came in and tore that agreement up. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? And they was telling Trump, like, you know, that's not a good idea. You know, and it's all coming back to where we at today. Because if Iran, which the Most High is controlling Iran, he controlling everybody, they not finna deal with America. They not finna do it. You know, America gonna come with them crazy ass, you know, as far as them, okay, we want y'all to do this. We want y'all to do that. Iran gonna be lying the hell with y'all, man. Bring that shit on, man. While we still getting ready right now. While y'all talking, we still getting ready.
They know that you can't trust these Edomite devils.
Hell no.
They don't watch them devils burn too many other people over there where they at. Plus, I'm finna send you this video that we be talking about all the time. We need to have it in our arsenal anyway to play. But they pay attention. See, unlike us, they've been taught to pay attention to what's going on. To pay attention, it's in the emails. To pay attention to their enemies, what's happening. We the only ones who want to keep forgiving the white man. The white man hang one of our brothers. First thing they do is show you him smoking weed, putting his middle finger to the air.
Hell yeah.
To get you to desensitize you to think he deserved it. They pull over one of our brothers, beat him half to death, give him some money, make him go shut up. They go, you know, shoot somebody 30 times in the back, running away. And they tell you, well, he was a bad guy anyway. 20 years ago, he went to jail for something. And we just forgive it and ignore it. But see, these other nations, they don't. They see it and they be like, okay. If you did that to them, you would do it to me. Okay, we made this agreement with you and you reneged on it. We're not going to we're the only ones who trust in oppression. Thus saith the Lord.
Right.
We trust in oppression. We constantly forgive them because a lot of our people see them as Jesus Christ in the flesh. They see them as God.
Exactly,
So they constantly forgive them. Just like that boy right now who's fighting the teenager who stabbed up that Edomite. in high school.
Yeah.
He's fighting, but the boys was bullying him. They was twins. They was bigger than him.
Right. Shalom, brother Huey.
Shalom,
Yeah,
brother.
good to see you here. But yeah, that's crazy right there.
Yeah, so now, and like a lot of people are saying, the only issue is he was black and the boy ended up dying from the stabbing. But a lot of our people, we so quick to forgive them. But these other nations, they ain't forgiven. It's they have literally said that they are martyrs.
Right, but
They'll die for it.
right, and then also too, they bringing up the fact that, you know, a lot of people they got a GoFundMe, and he like raised like
That's
350,000.
That's another problem.
And
White people are mad at black people for supporting black people because they want us to be against each other. So you're right. A lot of people donated to the young man's GoFundMe,
Yeah.
and white people mad about it as if they can control you donating. You know, we need to support each other. And some people don't deal with bullying like the turn the other cheek. Some people get tired and they like, okay, I got something for you.
Right, Brother Huey got a comment as far as the twins' father. It was released today that the father of the twins was arrested for SA in 2011. So, I mean...
And thank you, because you know what? The brother was a straight A student.
Yeah.
See, they can't find no bad rap on him, but that's their MO, and so I'm glad that they're doing it to the Edomites this time. But y'all know, first thing they do is go pull up some, you could have been on Black Planet or MySpace way back in the day.
They're
Gonna pull it up
You ain't
because they
lying.
want the world to see you as a bad guy, not a victim.
Exactly.
In which
Right.
you are. You're a victim. We all know how bullying is. Most of us went through it.
Right.
Maybe even to a lesser extent. But I kind of got off track bringing that one up. I just wanted to bring that up in the conversation about our people being too forgiving to the oppressor, and the other heathen nations are not forgiving. They are tired of Esau.
Right. We want to play this video that old girl was talking about as far as
Esau telling on Esau.
yeah, he telling what they going what
Their
they
agenda
plan.
is, how,
Right.
how they want to destroy the earth.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. So we'll be right back.
10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld, and one of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, No. He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." I said, "We're going to war with Iraq? Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we got a good military and we can take down governments." So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, "I just got this down from upstairs," meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran." I said, "Is it classified?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Well, don't show it to me."
Okay, y'all heard it. You know, these countries and the last country on the list is Iran
For a
right
reason.
now.
It's last for a reason.
Yeah.
Because it ain't going to be nothing to come back from after that.
It's crazy because it's like you find videos like this, right?
And this video is old.
This is an old
This is
video.
a few years ago.
This is a very old video. And look where we at now. They had Iran
They
next.
wasn't lying.
Iran the boogeyman now.
The Most High made them devils tell the earth they sinister, evil little plan.
Yeah.
And let's take one of the countries on their hit list, Somalia.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
everybody knows Somalia ain't got no military.
Mm-hmm.
We know they're a weaker country.
Exactly.
They're very impoverished. So I
Exactly.
don't know if that one is just positional. It may just be positional.
Might be a position, right?
Far as where
Exactly.
they located.
Where they, you know, put their
They military.
military bases. Exactly.
But
right.
yeah, I love when Esau tell on Esau, and so just to hear them say, this is what their forefathers used to do. Go around conquering the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe it was for precious minerals and gold and fertile land or whatever.
Well, let's get some scripture right quick.
But now this is war. It's end time. They're setting up their position.
Right. Let's get.
These are some straight up devils,
No,
and they
no,
sitting
no,
up laughing. But did y'all hear this devil say that they're taking down governments?
Right.
Our people buying Jordans.
Right. They
They
take
worried
down
about some
government.
J's.
Exactly. Right.
Esau taking down governments, uprooting whole families, got people fleeing, crossing borders because they're going around destroying. And our people worried about what fly Easter outfit they gonna get next week for their child or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, it is. They little Easter next week or whatever.
Yeah, I remember we was kids, our parents got us them neon suits and them big puffy dresses and bought an Easter basket. Meanwhile,
Right. But this is Revelation 6 and 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the four part of the earth, which is America, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth. So they still on that pale white horse.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Taking over. They still taking over, but their time is up. Their time is up, and that time is with Iran. Not only with Iran, but also, you know, those other three countries, Russia, China, and North Korea.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, they've been talking about that, which brings me to another video.
This that one guy?
No,
No,
this ain't
that ain't
him.
him.
This is something else. But this is a real good video, though, you know, as far as, you know, somebody having their eyes open, right? But it's speaking about the four countries that I mentioned.
Okay, this is truly alarming. You got China, Iran, Russia, and North Korea all seeming to be in perfect alliance with one another. And one thing that's for certain is that they all have common enemies. All of these countries have common enemies. And one of the common enemies happen to be us, the US. One of the common enemies happens to be us and Israel, which is very interesting because you got Iran trying to get nuclear weapons. You got North Korea and their dictatorship. And you know that their little Kim Jong-un, he's ready to go any other day. We know he is cool with Putin. You have China with the trade wars on the U.S. Remember, the Bible talks about wars and rumors of war. And that is a sign of the end. And all we are seeing in the news headlines is wars and rumors of wars. But the interesting thing here is that Revelation talks about a war, and it talks about the great kings of the East. The great kings of the East. Russia, East. China, East. Iran, Middle East. North Korea, East. The kings of the East. It talks about a 200 million man army. And you might say, well, there's not 200. If you add all of these countries together and you put their people in an army, you put these people in combat, it would probably equal out to 200 million people. And so they're going to march across the Euphrates River and wage war on God's people. That's Israel, and it seems like it's also going to be the U.S. if they don't alliance with each other to take out the U.S. first. Iran is trying to get nuclear weapons. Y'all might think that this is just nothing. I'm telling y'all, I was like, America is not in Bible prophecy. And if it is, it's Mystery Babylon. But if it's not, that means it's not in the Bible, which means when the time of the end comes, America has to be removed, which makes this very interesting, especially with Iran trying to get, and mind you, America is just making enemies with everybody right now. They talking about drone strikes in Mexico. They striked Yemen 70 times. They're into it with China. They're into it with Iran with the nuclear weapons. They have been into it with North Korea, and Trump just threatened Putin. And you got everything else on the sun. You got everything that's happening inside of the U.S. as well. You got us. We're into it with Canada. We're into it with everybody but Israel. It's really us right now versus the world for the most part. That's not a good look. I'm telling y'all, that's not a good look.
Oh man, it's crazy. I just want to let you see that our child changed it with no hands and shit.
Oh, okay.
But Man, let me look at these comments right quick. Brother Lindsay said the Edomite autopsy said he had drugs in his system, and I read that somewhere, man. You know, I ain't want to say nothing about it. The twin, how somebody was saying it, like that's what really killed him. If I'm not, mistaken or whatnot, Lindsay, help me out, because this is why, you know what I'm saying, like this is why he died.
I didn't hear that part. My brother gave a reaction to this, and I was cooking, so I missed some stuff.
And then Brother Huey said, funny there is no cell phone footage, right? And I'm going to read the other one next. But then Lindsay said, they said the police confiscated all the cell phone videos and threatened to arrest anyone who leaked it. So
because they trying their best to make the brew guilty.
Right. They do what Esau do. Mm-hmm. Right. Now, going to what Brother Huey said as far as about Iran, he said, yeah, Iran got the bullseye on America.
Yeah.
And then, just like this dude, he sees some things, but he don't see the right people.
Yeah, he was
you know what I'm
a
saying?
little bit, but
right.
It was some other stuff that was on point.
Right, as far as with the scriptures and whatnot, it's
the Most High put the spirit on Babylon to go at them, and they are not deviating from that. All praise to the Most High. So we sitting back looking like y'all so stupid, y'all gonna lose. Don't y'all see? It's written in the book. But the Most High manipulating them to still go into a losing battle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's what that general said years ago. We got a list of countries that we have to conquer. And this is the list. And remember, he even said, like, why?
Right.
And they couldn't even give him a reason. They don't even know why.
Right,
the Most High is why.
Exactly right.
Why we gotta go take over Iraq? We don't know. And how long? Wasn't they there for like 20 years?
Right.
Something crazy. Millions of people died.
Yeah.
Because that one was George Bush Jr. around
that
this
was
time with the poppy
that was him.
seeds and all of that.
Yep, that was him.
Come to find out, they was really over there because they was trying to say Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction over there, and he was killing his people. And they was talking about, but they was really over there in the poppy fields.
Exactly, right.
Taking the drugs from over there.
Taking the drugs.
And then come to find out Saddam ain't have nothing.
Yeah.
They lied. They stabbed him in the back.
Yep. Because they tracked him and his soldiers or whatever.
Yeah, they was once in...
To have them go against Iran, you know what I'm saying? So
he was once in bed with them. And that's
right.
what going back to what I was saying about Iran. And some of these other countries, Russia, Iran, especially them Asian people, they already know. They've been watching it. They're not going to give them a chance to do a Saddam or a Gaddafi to them. And y'all remember when they killed Saddam Hussein, remember that was the first public hanging that they showed on 247 here. Well, y'all news stations may be something different, but you remember how they showed that on the evening news here in America? We looking like, wait a minute, this ain't.
Yeah, because it was like.
When do they do that?
Yeah, it was like, when we was asleep or whatnot.
Yeah,
I was asleep. I'm like, look at my man and shit. I'm all laughing at him and shit. You know what I'm saying? They got him the way he was looking. Yeah, right. They had me believing this is the bad guy right here and shit.
But my thing is, America don't show public execution. Think about how many people they be executing in Texas and all of that. They don't show you the recording of that. So I found it interesting that America got that footage, because you could obviously tell it was over there in the Middle East, and they got that footage and aired it for all of America to see that.
Yeah, they did.
That show you how foul they is.
They is, man. God damn. They foul as hell, man.
Yeah.
For real. But it's crazy though, how this all playing out.
Yeah.
And just like I said, through the spirit of the Most High, because we can't take no credit.
And we
not
can't give
bragging.
the devils no credit.
Right, we can't give the devils no credit neither. But we ain't gonna brag and boast like We told y'all, no, through the spirit of the Most High, we told y'all. You know what I'm saying? We can't take no credit because, just like I said, you know, we was blind. We was like, you know what I'm saying, oblivious to what was going on.
Sleep.
Exactly, right. But all praise to the Most High that He woke us up. And, man, it's just, this is a time that, you know, we need to be paying attention, really, you know.
Yeah.
But it's another video, though. This guy, he's talking about Iran.
Oh, can we talk about that brother talking about a 200 million man army?
Oh, yeah, you right.
I don't know if he got them numbers from Revelation.
You know, I've heard that before. Like a brew break down the numbers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But
Because I'm not really good with that.
it's been a while since I've heard of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody got the scriptures or
But
whatnot.
it
we
makes
can go over
sense
it.
with them combining their
Hell
armies
yeah, that's a lot of
together,
people.
Because they showed us them Asian people march the way they march over there.
China got a lot of people. Iran, they got a lot of people.
And we know Russia.
Russia, they got, yeah. And you know what I'm saying?
And whoever else may come in.
Whoever
and
else
join.
you go
I
in.
would think the BRICS nations would be joining.
Exactly right, yeah, because in the scripture it got others, you know, countries that it said they're gonna bring they band and they people, and they're gonna bring they people with it.
It's
Right,
gonna
exactly,
be
yeah.
out cold how this gonna play out.
Right, because you got, just like he said, you know, America is making so many enemies.
Yeah.
You know, Trump, he
Yeah.
like, we the big dog. We don't need nobody. Matter of fact, hold on. Wait a minute. Trump said we can do what we want to do. Right? He said we can do what we want to do. Y'all do what y'all can. We got a secret weapon. We do what we want to do. We'll be back.
And we're very powerful. This country is very powerful. Let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, not even close. So nobody's going to do that, but I think that if that's what you're referring to, maybe it's not. But just
You see how the Most High got that pride in him?
Hey, talk that stuff, Trump. Talk your
It's
stuff.
crazy, man.
Why you can?
It's crazy, man. And you know, it's like how the Most High just connect things for us. You know, just in this live right here. You know what I'm saying? He connecting the dots and this going with this. Man, it was. I just got all these videos up today. Probably about an hour or two ago. I just got all. It wasn't like I put these videos. Okay, this one going first. This one going first. As we talk, I'm like, okay, this is relating to this video. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how this stuff is going, man.
Just think about him talking about we got stuff y'all ain't never seen before. It's very, very powerful. Man, please. Yeah, maybe back in the 70s.
Right.
But 80s, but not no more. These other countries, the Most High put a spirit on them. That's why they killed their scientists.
Exactly
Because they
right.
making stuff y'all ain't never seen. Don't. It's the reason why the scriptures say that y'all face is gonna be pale, and the way the scripture describes the fear that's gonna come upon Babylon. How afraid they gonna make y'all.
Think about
So
it.
that's how I know you bluffing, because the scripture tell us Babylon gonna be afraid.
Right. Just think about how they gonna be coming. With all them soldiers, you know what I'm saying, from everywhere. America don't, I feel like they know, but they don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They like, nah, we still got this mud. But Brother Huey said billions and billions and billions.
There it is.
Hey, it's going down. But another, let me see. 'Cause this one I've been wanting to play.
That man.
Yeah, man. The Most High got him out there like a chicken with his head cut off. Hey, but this is one that Trump, you know, convincing Iran to ditch the nuclear program or whatever, which, you know, we don't think he gonna do it. So we'll be right back. We'll talk about this.
Take a look at this. I told you guys America will back down. For you guys to think for a second that the United States of America would throw everything on the line to attack Iran. Iran is not just some kind of backwater country without technology that America can just go in and attack and go out. It is not about bringing the payload from North America to bomb Iran. Israel is calling for a war with Iran, but Israel needs supplies from America. Think about what will happen to Ukraine. Think about how Europe will go up in flames if America attack Iran. Think about what will happen to Azerbaijan, Armenia, Israel, Lebanon, Jordan, Syria, even Turkey. Think about what will happen to Central Asia if Israel goes into Iran. Iran is the land bridge between South Asia and the Middle East, or what they call Western Asia. From Iran, you can easily access Georgia through Azerbaijan or Armenia, all the way to the Black Sea to Europe. From Iran, you can use the Caspian Sea to have access to Central Asia. Iran have border with Afghanistan. Iran is a very important country, and with the current economic problem around the world, if America attacks Iran, America's economy will go down the toilet and America will cease to be the global hegemony. If America attacks Iran, it will be the beginning of the end of the United States of America.
Man.
Burn, Babylon, Babylon, burn.
Exactly. Man, this is crazy. It's crazy though, because
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
What he said it has to happen. The Most High put it in them to do His will.
Exactly.
That's what's gonna happen. The world needs to see that this superpower that once was, the Most High raised him up to bring them down. Modern day Pharaoh.
Exactly.
Y'all ain't nothing but clay, a vessel.
Right. I mean, damn. You know, it's woo. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Let's look at some more videos, man. Let's see.
Iran rejects U.S. demands and threatens strikes on Tel Aviv, U.S. bases across the Middle East. Iran has officially rejected all new U.S. demands for a nuclear deal, including ending its missile program, sparking fears of a new escalation in the Middle East. Tehran has called the demands beyond nuclear and non-negotiable, according to recent statements. The U.S. had pushed for Iran to end its missile development and regional operations in exchange for a new deal. In response, Iran warned that if attacked, it would strike Tel Aviv with missiles. Iran also threatened to target U.S. military bases in all Gulf countries and Turkey, where over 60,000 U.S. soldiers are stationed. Iranian officials have refused direct talks with the U.S., insisting on indirect negotiations through mediators like Oman. Amid rising tensions, both nations appear unwilling to compromise. Washington has threatened military action if Tehran refuses to accept a deal. Meanwhile, regional stability remains at risk as the possibility of conflict escalates. The world now watches as this standoff unfolds between two powerful rivals, with missiles, diplomacy, and war plans all on the table.
Man, it's going down.
They not about to talk to, I don't like you. I'm not finna come in a room with you. I'm not about to wear no suit. I'm not about to shake your hand. I'm not coming to America. You ain't coming over here. Somebody else we rock with, they can talk to you. We'll tell them how we feeling and they can speak. Look, I'm not even about to speak English and translate. We ain't finna do none of that. We don't rock with you.
Right. And then Trump, man, you know, it's like Trump, he basically on get down to lay down.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't get down to lay down. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about nothing else. If y'all ain't going to do this, then we going to send some missiles over there at y'all.
And Iran say they ain't negotiating, you send them missiles over here if you want, and Israel finna get hit.
Yeah.
Tel Aviv, they gonna get the business.
They're
not scared no more.
And just like dude said, America can't afford to go to war with Iran.
I was thinking in the last clip we watched when they was talking about the numbers that the other countries' military have.
Right.
And I was thinking about America's military. Remember they was telling us last year
that
the recruitment
is low.
Yeah. And that's why they wanted to pass that bill to bypass you registering. They wanted it to be an automatic registry.
Right, just think about, them having to protest. And them protesting Trump and, you know what I'm saying, Elon Musk and all that. It's people that they probably gonna want to have in the army or whatever, that they seeing all this stuff about Iran. They probably like, no, everybody putting the pieces together like, no, wait a minute. America, they bullies. They going around, y'all should leave, you should leave Iran and Israel and all them alone. Worry about America or whatnot. We're not finna go over there and fight. I mean, that shit has been going on for...
People are tired of America being in the... they got a term they use for it, never-ending wars.
Never-ending wars, exactly.
People are tired of that. People are not as patriotic as they used to be.
No, who want to go overseas and die? There's a possibility that I could die. You know what I'm saying?
In another country.
Right.
Yeah, people are less patriotic, and that's Black Americans and white Americans.
Yeah.
And there's no longer a big incentive to go into the military. When I was coming out of high school, my brother went to the military probably like 2 years out of high school or something like that. A lot of people were doing it because there was an incentive. That money and being able to travel, that was a really big incentive. But people doing more traveling now on their own money than they've ever done before. And then I think that 2019, 2020 changed a lot of things in America with Black people as far as finances. Black people started finding ways to make money in unconventional ways, and they stopped working 9 to 5. So they're not pressed for the military coins. So you can't get people, they not patriotic and they not pressed for the money. And then you got all these white boys, this fags. So it's like, how can you even get them over there? There's no incentive. That's why the recruitment numbers drop.
Watch you with the F word.
I'm sorry, they have a limp wrist.
Yeah, shut us down
it's
like a
more difficult nowadays because, with all the gender and limp wrist agendas, and then the money, because I know my brother went for money. He was struggling. He was trying to find his way. And so a lot of people aren't doing that anymore. They like to heck with that. I'll get my money. I'll be a podcaster, anything, rather than go enlist. So I think that's a component to why we see those recruitment numbers down. And I'm glad because they said it's like 60,000 people, American soldiers stationed in Turkey. And I hate to see it. Every time they cut the camera on, I hate to see our brothers and sisters over there overseas, because I told my brother the same thing. He didn't listen, but he regretted it. My brother didn't even get out of basic training before he was calling me crying, talking about I made a mistake. I ain't gonna be able to do 6 years of this. I ain't no yes man. I don't want to be here. You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
He was over it.
Yeah,
they be regretting that stuff. I be watching the video. Somebody said, y'all being in the military is real similar to like jail or prison. And there was a young lady. And she basically answered with no answer, but gave you that look like, yeah, you're right, I just can't say it. She was complaining about the food, how cold they be sometimes. And I'm like, y'all couldn't just go work a regular job? You had to go sign away, because for the Air Force, the minimum is 6 years. I know all branches are different, but y'all know when you sign up, that's years out the gate.
Yep, yeah.
You got to commit to.
Yep.
Unless you're going to go AWOL.
Right. But it's getting real tight out here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, as far as we're dealing with America and these tariffs and them beefing with these other countries and making all these enemies and stuff. This is another video here of people saying that, China, they're gonna win this tariff war.
Did you see the video that China, I forgot to show it to you.
Where they got
the white people in the sweatshops.
Yeah.
They got the Americans
the AI, yeah, they didn't put it out there.
Like it's the role in reverse.
China ain't having it. They're not having it. But let's look at this video right here. We'll be right back.
You're being lied to. You're being told America's winning this trade war. That Trump's 54% tariff on China is going to bring back jobs. Crush Beijing and put America first? What if I told you China's not panicking, they're planning? They literally hold all the cards. If you're a day trader or worse, you have your retirement tied to US stocks, this might be your last warning. The tariff fight, it's not about trade. It's a financial chess move. And guess what? Winnie the Pooh, Xi, he's playing to win. Now I know what the trolls will say. Bro, China's cooked. 300 billion trade surplus about to vanish. These tariffs will crush them. Yeah, you think China didn't game this out a decade back? You big dummy? Let me explain. Facts. Exports are only about 20% of China's GDP, and 85% of their exports go to countries that aren't in the US. So yeah, it hurts. It's not fatal. Meanwhile, here in the United States, we're addicted to debt. And guess who's holding our IOUs, which you might have known if you were in my community with my team, run by a former investment banker in Hong Kong. You see, because China holds over 750 billion in US Treasury debt, they don't need to dump it all. All they need is to trickle it out at the perfect point. Like when the US is trying to refinance trillions in debt. Boom! Interest rates spike. Stocks crash. Retirement accounts get torched. Do you still think Xi is bluffing? Take notes. I'm about to give you 2 more reasons what he has up his sleeve. Number 1, the BRICS play, the dollar punisher. China is leading a new payment system with Russia, India, Brazil, and South Africa. It's de-dollarizing global trade, making the US dollar less important with every deal. You think inflation is bad now? Wait until demand for US dollar vanishes. Number 2, write this down, rare earth monopoly. China controls 70% of the world's rare earth refining. You know the stuff we need for phones, fighter jets, EVs, AI chips. You want to play hardball? They can choke our supply chain overnight. And while America plays culture wars and TikTok politics, pro-Palestine marches on campuses, China's building empires with AI. Here are examples. Take notes, save this video, and share it with a friend to discuss. Sensei Time. It's a Chinese AI firm which is already rolling out up-to-date facial recognitions for cities and logistics. ByteDance's Lark is replacing Zoom and Slack across all of Asia. And Tencent is using AI co-pilots into medical, legal, and fintech ecosystems. You're busy tweeting. They're busy taking your future. So here's the truth. Nobody genuinely wants to hear this. Trump's unfortunately out of moves. Xi isn't. And this economic Super Bowl ends the way it's heading. China wins, America loses, and your portfolio gets cut in half. Don't say nobody warned you. But this is preventable. There's a growing class of Chinese companies undervalued and overlooked by Western investors. Companies that are thriving, building in AI, clean energy, logistics, and global payments. You can hedge, still be a patriotic American just like me. You can profit, you can protect your future, but not by listening to cable news or Twitter threads from fake economists who aren't actually in the trenches like you and me are. You need intel from the source, from someone who's actually has worked in private equity and investment banking. Our co-founder is an ex-investment banker in Hong Kong. He's helped institutions navigate. Now he's helping people like you. Join our trading community right now. This is about making money. Not just that, but not about losing everything either.
All right, that's enough of him. He still got a little hope and still think that something can be done.
Yeah. Oh my God, I should have wrote my notes down.
It was a lot. It was a lot to, you know. Yeah, it was a lot as far as, dude, he playing chess. Trump playing checkers. That's, you know, basically what I got out of it. They're not going to win this tariff war.
Yeah, but he was talking about how China is more advanced.
Right, exactly. They like 10 years.
That's the point I wanted to make. When he was talking about the BRICS. Now, remember, when Trump got in office, he was basically like trying to downplay BRICS, like, yeah, that ain't going to never happen. You had a lot of people was like, yeah, BRICS ain't going to happen. But I'm like, no, it's early. BRICS is still going to happen because we all know that Babylon going to fall. So it's got to be another superpower, another dollar, if you will. But exactly. I wanted to say this too. Y'all know that we deal with a different currency. And we went to get some money the other day. And the dollar wasn't worth as much. Remember? What he said made me think about that.
Yeah, I remember.
When he was talking about as far as the dollar not, I forget exactly how he worded it, because my thoughts is all over the place. But I thought about that. When we went to get that money, that currency difference was about $1 or so. Wait, how do I want to say it? The American dollar versus the dollar that they have here, it usually hang around 15 point something.
15.50.
15 and a half.
Right.
But that day we went, it
14
dropped to
and a half.
like 14 and a half.
Right.
So if you, and this is something we probably wouldn't really be paying attention to if we hadn't left the country, but you look at some of these other countries and their currencies compared to the dollar, and it fluctuates like the stock market. Sometimes it's up, and other times it's down. You're like, dang, the dollar done. And you know what? This was right around the tariffs and the stock market crashes, so it makes sense. But I'm telling y'all, it's for real. Mm-hmm. As far as the dollar doing like this, it's still holding its weight for the moment, but it do be dipping.
But you got to think though, they got to like crash the economy of America before they, try to go to war with them and all that. You know what I'm saying? Because if these other countries see America, economy is going to shit, then they gonna be like, America? Who's America? They ain't nobody,
They gonna be like Mortal Kombat, finish her.
Right, exactly. So, man, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's really a lot. I think I want to play one more video before we leave. Let me see.
Oh yeah, I like
Okay, we're going to play this dude right here. Hopefully, this video, because I ain't checked the video, y'all. Hopefully this play for us. So we'll be right back.
Whoa, and I was saying with y'all like to check this out. Here we go again. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Listen. I need y'all to go down memory lane with me. Can y'all come with me? Come on, let's go. Listen. Not too far long ago, it was an administration in the office. I think they was called the Biden administration. I think that's what they was called. And it was a lot of shit going on with that administration, man. They was giving away all of our money. They was feeding into wars. They was letting people flood the country. They was killing us at the grocery store. I've never seen people cry over eggs like I did last year. That's crazy. Everything was going up. The bread, meats, just everything, right? And then something changed. We all got tired of the shit. You know what I'm saying? We was letting our voice be heard. And then somebody came in and they said something. And they said some things like, with these wars, snap of a finger, I can make them go away. I can bring the ultimate deal to the table and I can make that war go away. Well, Russia, Ukraine are still throwing Hail Marys at each other. Israel is still launching everything they got to the people of Gaza. Iran still over there, the Houthis still doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? And there's been deals on the table, but neither side, you know what I'm saying, are fucking with them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's get off that. Let's bring down inflation. Because, man, it's harder than motherfucker. Don't forget, people was crying over eggs and bread. Actual tears. Let's talk about that, the inflation. And with the inflation, people crying they couldn't pay for their stuff. And somebody said, I'll bring down inflation so groceries can be affordable. And people are like, hell yeah, I like that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what needs to be done. When somebody says something, you got to hold them to the word, you know what I'm saying? Until they show you otherwise. But that was the problem, right? Okay, so the groceries are still high, and they about to go higher. Now, that was just the groceries. Now we have groceries, electronics, vehicles, just everything. You know what I'm saying? Even your cup of coffee is about to go up through the roof now. And okay, well, people still ride with it. Like, okay, well, fuck it, we're gonna pay. But you were just bitching. But it's okay this time. It's okay because in the long run, everything gonna be cool. But how long is the long run? Because you never got a real answer. Or how long is a short run? A short period of time. Short period of time could be 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. So you go through that 8, 9, 10 years. So we're looking at 12 years, 13 years. That's the long run. That's for your kids and your grandkids. But damn, don't we got to survive and eat too? Okay, well, let's leave that alone. Let's leave that alone. Okay, we got the migrants. Good job. Did its thing with that. Got a lot of people out of here. Border much safer than it used to be. But one little kiss to that. I thought all of that was for the migrants that came in. Now it's being talks that United States citizens can be deported too and go to El Salvador and be locked up. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But we're just going down memory lane and then we're going back and forth. But I'm going to tell you this. If you don't fucking open your eyes and pay attention to what's going on and stop being so short-minded and start thinking about things that happened last year and how things are looking this year, I think we're losing focus on what we hired people to come in and do. You know what I'm saying? Not disrupt a lot of shit and hurt our pockets even more, but just make this motherfucker, and it don't even have to be make America great again. Just make tomorrow better than what today is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen. These tariffs, and I'm going to keep telling you, shit is going to get real, man. I don't care how you see it, what you think about it, whatever. It is what it is, but shit going to get crazy. Pay attention, keep your head on the swivel, stack up on everything you need because you will have more worse days than better days. Some bad shit coming. Y'all step out there, get it out the mud.
Get it out the mud. Man, I heard a lot of false hope up in there. You know what I'm saying?
You know, people be woke to an extent.
I'm like, hey, when I get on my knees at night and get on them in the morning,
I know what you mean.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
I want the kingdom to come. I don't want this bullshit kingdom to keep standing.
And his will is for Babylon to be beat to powder.
Exactly, right.
But when he was talking about the different stuff that's been going on with the immigrants, the groceries, I remember Edomite was putting Trump on blast about the groceries because he like, that was what Trump ran on. Everything finna come down, the price of everything finna come down, and that was, in fact, a lie. Everything been going up, and then Trump basically tried to come back with, you know, it's gonna get a little uncomfortable in the beginning, but everybody gonna get rich soon and all that talk he been saying. But I think that's one of the biggest things across the board, no matter what race you are. People are like, it's too expensive. It's so expensive. Black people running to Thailand. It's so expensive. People living in their cars.
Right.
People buying tiny houses. This
right.
One guy you watch, he living in the woods.
People downsizing. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people looking at us like, oh, they done went to Africa and all that. But it's a whole lot cheaper living here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In Africa. And we ain't got to go and worry about no eggs going high and being high and everybody fighting on them. You know what I'm saying?
The egg prices here is cheap. A lot of the
we got a next door neighbor who got selling eggs.
It's the poultry farm across the street, and we cop a crate of eggs from her. What's 60? How much is in
60? 60 is $4.
So a whole crate of eggs is $4.
$4.
What is a crate? Is that 3
it's
dozen?
Like,
it might be about 3 dozen.
Yeah, about 3 dozen of eggs for $4.
It's $4.
Yeah.
So, you know, the fruits, vegetables, all of the local stuff is expensive. Now, when we start going to the restaurants in the mall, that's when we start spending money and get more expensive. But
and it still ain't, you know what I'm saying? It still ain't that bad.
Nah.
Because of the currency, you know.
Right, because we a family of 4, and we can go to the restaurant and order what we want, and our bill will be about $40, $50. So.
Yeah.
it's still cheaper.
Right. If we'd be in America, that bill would probably be about 100, close to 100.
Depending on where we go. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
That's true.
Right.
So yeah, people are downsizing, but I noticed that across the board, especially with Edomites though, they are really upset at the cost of living, how expensive stuff is. They can't afford stuff like they used to be able to. And then a video or two back, somebody was talking about people's retirements, their retirement fund and 401k, like that, all that money Edomites used to have back in the day, where they'd be able to go randomly just buy a boat or take their whole family on vacation. They can't afford to do that stuff no more. You got old Edomites who retired, who back working part-time at Walmart to subsidize their Social Security. So a lot of people are feeling the pinch, but groceries is one of the biggest things, and rent.
Right, exactly.
That we hearing people talk about.
Right, because that's the only thing our people really gonna, be affected by is the rent, the groceries and stuff like that. Prices going up on things. That's the only thing. But, we can manage. You know what I'm saying?
That's what my cousin was saying. Like black people, a lot of us are used to, having a little less, so we're able to finagle and create a meal out of nothing, so to speak.
Exactly. Exactamundo. But it's our time, y'all. So we're gonna go on and get up out of here.
You read everything?
Huh?
You read everything?
Yeah, I read everything. I don't think anything else come up. We appreciate y'all coming through. Brother Huey, Brother Linzel, y'all kept that chat on fire. Man, y'all stay prayed up. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh, through His Son, Yahweh Shai. We got to keep these commandments. Y'all keep the commandments. Let's keep doing what we do, what the Most High wants us to do. And that's all, babe. We're going to go on and sign out. We'll be here next week, same time. Y'all already know it. Most High willing, we going to be here. So with that being said, we're going to say Shalom.
Shalom, Zion.
We out, y'all. Let's see. Okay, here we go.